Season 2, April Fool's Day Special.
Story 1, The Fool's Prize. April Fool's Day was Jack's favourite holiday. He spent weeks planning elaborate pranks to humiliate his friends. This year he found an old, battered Jack-in-the-Box at a yard sale, perfect for his grand finale. Jack painted it with bright colours, added fake bloodstains, and rigged it so a grotesque clown doll would spring out with a blood-curdling scream. He could hardly wait for his friends' reactions. The night of the party, Jack gathered everyone in the living room.
"You're gonna love this,"
he said, winding the crank with exaggerated flair. The box played a haunting, off-key version of Pop Goes the Weasel. Everyone leaned in, waiting for the punchline. When the clown popped out, the lights flickered and died.
"Nice touch, Jack,"
someone muttered in the darkness. Jack chuckled nervously.
Not part of the plan, guys."
Suddenly, the clown's laughter echoed through the room. Not a recording, but deep, guttural, and alive. In the faint glow of their phones, the group saw the clown standing, much larger than it had been, its painted face contorting into a grin. Jack's friends screamed and scattered. The clown only had eyes for him. It grabbed his arm with an icy grip.
"A fool's prize."
It hissed, dragging him into the box. The lights returned, revealing nothing but the closed Jack-in-the-Box. The crank slowly unwound on its own, playing that haunted tune again.
Pop goes the weasel.
Story 2, The Countdown. Kevin hated April Fool's Day. Every year, his co-workers bombarded him with pranks, fake emails, plastic bugs in his coffee, and jump scares that always left him jittery. So, when he received an anonymous text that morning saying, "Prank war, you have 24 hours to live," he rolled his eyes.
"Very funny,"
he muttered, tossing his phone aside. By noon, another text arrived.
12 hours left.
The message unsettled him. How are they keeping track? Kevin checked his desk and found nothing unusual. He laughed it off, shaking his head. At 6 p.m, another text buzzed.
6 hours left.
Kevin felt a shiver crawl down his spine. He locked the doors to his office and decided to work late, just to prove he wasn't scared. At 11:59 p.m, his phone buzzed one last time.
1 minute left.
The lights in his office flickered, and Kevin jumped, his breath coming in short gasps. He tried to call someone, but his phone died. When the clock struck midnight, the lights went out completely. The office was plunged into darkness. Kevin fumbled for his desk lamp, but instead of the smooth metal base, his fingers brushed something cold and wet. His phone came alive again, glowing faintly. A final message filled the screen.
Time's up.
The next morning, when his co-workers arrived, they found the door locked. Kevin was inside, slumped over his desk, his lifeless eyes fixed on his phone. The screen displayed one word:
Gotcha.
Story 3, The Perfect Prank. Greg had always been the mastermind of his group of friends, created intricate pranks that left everyone in stitches. But this year, he wanted to outdo himself. He planted fake blood packets, recorded creepy sounds, and even hired an actor to pretend to haunt their apartment. On the night of April Fool's, everything went perfectly. His friends screamed, laughed, and praised him for the best prank yet. But as the night wore on, Greg began noticing things he hadn't planned. The actor he hired, he never arrived, yet the figure of a woman in a torn dress kept appearing in the corner of his vision. The blood packets he planted, they were still in his drawer, untouched, yet bloodstains were spreading across the carpet. When his friends left, Greg was alone, with the strange sounds that hadn't stopped. A low whisper seemed to follow him from room to room. "Greg," it murmured, "we've been watching." Frantic, he checked his prank supplies. Every prop was still in its box. The woman in the torn dress appeared again, this time standing in the bedroom doorway.
Who are you?
He screamed. Her voice was calm, almost amused. "The joke's on you, Greg. You've been pranking yourself for years. Haven't you noticed?" Images flashed in Greg's mind. His friends weren't real. His elaborate pranks were staged in empty rooms. Every memory he clung to dissolved into a haze of laughter, his own, manic and endless.